Well, this is my first, so had some stuff going on, and I was going to swing through Oklahoma City. I knew the guys would be here, and I've been here many times, so not only visiting friends, but at this ballpark watching my oldest when he was here playing. So, but it's been great. I know they've been traveling around Houston and visiting some fans, and I remember this a few years back. Actually, before I wasn't playing with Houston, they were doing this. They were, going to some of the smaller communities, but also some of the minor league affiliates. So I think it's great. You see the people that you see some familiar faces, and you're in a situation where you have a lot of our young players that are coming up. I mean, the people here in Oklahoma City are going to see more than a handful of guys that are going to, help us win in the big leagues. We'll call upon some of these players here to get up here and help us because, unfortunately, there's injuries, and the big league season is a grind, to say the least. So we'll be expecting some of these guys that'll start the year here in AAA to come up and help the big league team.
Roger, what's your message to these young guys when you talk to them?
Well, I listen to them. I don't try and clone them after me when I watch them pitch. I obviously love visiting with the catchers. Over my 24 years, I had some fantastic catchers that made me look really good, obviously. And, I like bringing the energy. I mean, that's the way I pitched. That's why when I came to the ballpark, I enjoyed that. And I enjoy some of these guys that, they have a taste of the major leagues, and now they need to take another big step forward and to really, plant both feet in the ground and make a name for themselves. And, of course, being a season ticket holder myself, I want them to do well. So, it's been my home forever. I was fortunate enough way back when to play my first All-Star game in the Astrodome, so that's where I watched Nolan and J.R. Rich and all the guys from the past. So it's been home for me, and I root for those guys even when I played in Boston or New York or Toronto.
Word association, I say the words Hall of Fame. What's your reaction?
Got some cool pieces there already. And when we go there to visit and play in the little Dreamstown Park, I take the team by, and Hall of Fame guys there are awesome. They pull out some of my 20 strikeout stuff and some of my cleats and some things that I'm kind of glad they have, because some of the memorabilia that I have that I've kept over here, I got to keep it out of the sunlight. It's faded, and I got some really good pieces over the years that guys have given me.
So the Cooperstown and all that, I mean,
I already made comments on that.
Okay.
Something you don't have any control over.
Your thoughts on Dallas Keuchel?
Well, Dallas is friends with a good friend of mine, and when I speak about catchers, one of my best ones was Charlie O'Brien. And I know Dallas works with him a little bit. He throws to him, and I can tell you Charlie O'Brien is definitely one of the guys I would send Dallas to throw to, along with a bunch of other pitchers. On the receiving end of it, Charlie was one of the best. I think, and I might be off a little bit, but I think he's caught somewhere between 9 and 11 Cy Young Award winners, so that tells you all you need to know. So saw him last year in spring training, Dallas, of course, and just root for him, because it's their dream to make it to the big leagues. And then once they get there and make a little name for themselves, like I said, I'd like for him to have that attitude to win. Don't fall into this, the losing ways just because you think your team's not good. You could be that, Pittsburgh. Houston could be that Pittsburgh team this year, and that's the way you got to look at it.
So you're encouraged by what you've seen at the minor league level, the improvement that can carry over to the big league level?
I am, and obviously the guys that are in the major leagues has the stuff to be there. But again, I like bringing the intangibles. I like, talking to the guys. It's a great story. My grandma and my mother put $100 in my back pocket when I was 21 years old and pointed to the hitter and said, "That guy's trying to take your living." And that's the way you approach it. Once you get there, feel like you belong and take the next step, and then get out there and bring some great enjoyment to the fans that are coming to watch you. You try and put on a good show. You want to win, and it's your dream to pitch in the major leagues. And then once you get there, it's not just good enough to be average. Try and be better than average, and that's what we root for the guys. Yeah.
You've seen game plans over the years, though. Some of the guys already arrived last year. Singleton, Springer's on their way. Behind them's April, Correa. Just go down the list of really good players. Is this the kind of game plan it's just a matter of time for all of it to come together? Because there's a lot of talent in the organization right now at different levels.
It's a big jump. from AAA to the major leagues, and you find out the guys that can make adjustments. Every couple of years you have to make adjustments, even in the big leagues. So very important, because you're facing the best of the best. And if you don't make an adjustment or tweak your game a little bit, the other guys, the great ones, will do it, and that's how they have staying power. It's one thing to be in the big leagues for a year or two. It's another thing to get there for 10 years, 15, 20, and continue. And, that's what you hope for these guys, to have a long career in the major leagues. That means they're doing some great
So
things.
a guy like Springer, that was almost the first 40 guy in minors in 50 years. You're saying, obviously, has the talent. You try to teach the mental aspect of some of these guys.
No doubt about it. And the same thing I can apply to the pitching part of it. I try and tell the hitters, because when I'm staring down that 60 feet 6 inches, I'm trying to break those guys down. I hate to give away all my secrets, but I mean, it's a fact that when I stand on the mound, I want the hitter to be very uncomfortable when he's trying to make his living. And of course, I tell my sons that hit that when you step to the plate, you control the at bat. You don't let that guy out there control the at bat.